Hi, it's Jerry Norton, and if you're an investor and you're looking for properties that you can either keep as rentals or fix and flip or wholesale, then you really want to check out the on-market deal finding tool inside Propwire. Now, if you've never heard of Propwire, it's the largest database in the nation for motivated seller leads, with over 157 million records nationwide. And this is the cool part. You can search and download as many leads as you want, absolutely free. And you can even find distressed properties for sale on market. Now let me show you how this works. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is go to joinpropwire.com, and it's gonna take you to this page here. And let's say that I wanna search in Oklahoma. And under lead types, I'm gonna pick for sale MLS. Then I'm gonna search. And what you'll see here is that it opens up a map on the left and it gives you information on each property on the right. Now again, at the top here are your filters. So right now you could see here that I could choose all these different filters to look for leads, and we're looking just at for sale by owner. Now let me show you something really cool here. If I want a lead stack, and lead stack means that I'm gonna combine multiple types of leads. So let's go back to MLS. So I'm going to check MLS, and right now it's going to tell me that there are 764 MLS properties that it found in Oklahoma City, right up here. And if I want, I could add maybe another filter, let's call it absentee owners. And so now it's going to stack these two. So it's going to show me that there are properties for sale on the MLS that are also absentee owners. Really cool. And you can see it shrunk my results down to 468. And I could continue to lead stack here if I wanted to. So I could say, okay, give me free and clear as well as absentee owner. It dropped it down to 271 results. So obviously the more that you stack the leads, the smaller the results, but the more concentrated as well. So let's go ahead though and remove these and just look at for sale by owner. Now under property types, I could pick just single family, or I could look at all of these different types: condos, mobile homes, multi 2 to 4, multi above, and land. So maybe for simplicity, I'll just look at single family, and that's going to drop us down to 524 results. And then I could also look at just individual owned properties or business owned properties or properties owned by a bank or trust. And again, if I leave it blank, then it's just going to assume that I want to see everything. If I pick just individual, then you'll see that it changed my filter down to 333. Now, so far right now, it's just telling me that there's property for sale, there's single family homes, and they're owned by individuals. And so it's showing me everything. So it doesn't necessarily mean that these are distressed properties, just that they meet these filters. So again, let's go ahead and put in here free and clear. So now what is the data that I'm looking at here? All I'm looking at here is properties for sale, currently for sale on the MLS, that are owned free and clear, that are single family homes owned by individuals. And I've got 80 results. So now I can go in here and I can look at this information if that's valuable to me. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and remove the free and clear. So now I'm back to just MLS, single family, and individually owned. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take away individually owned, and that's going to bring my results back to 542. And then what I want to do is I want to click this advanced filter. And then you could see here that it's going to give me property types. So let's say that I'd only want to look at a minimum of 3 bedrooms. And if I add that filter, let's see what it drops it down to. Dropped it down to 446. So that advanced filter, it created a filter to condense the information that I'm looking at. So I've got some ideas here on the property details. I've got some owner details: owner occupied, cash buyer, absentee location, and other information here. I've got financial details that I could create filters around. I got assessed values. I've got last sale price, last sale date. And this one here is the one that I really wanted to get to: MLS keywords. Now, we created an algorithm in Propwire where what it's going to do is it's going to look at all of the listings, and it's going to find keywords that are indicating if it's an investor-owned property or a motivated seller property. So for example, let's click motivated seller keywords, and it brought my results all the way down to 64. So what that's saying here is it's saying that there are 64 leads here that are on the MLS in Oklahoma City that are single family homes that are owned by either individuals, businesses, or a trust. And what this is telling me is that with those keywords, there are 64 properties. Now, there could be properties that slip through that you'll see on here that are not distressed. Like, for example, this one here. You can see here, this is a renovated home. And the reason why that it grabbed this home, in fact, I think it says completely remodeled. So even though we're looking under motivated seller keywords, this property slipped through because one of our keywords is this one right here, potential. Now, it's using the word potential because it's saying that there's an apartment that you could, do something with. So it slipped through. So just know that sometimes you're going to see properties and you're like, man, this doesn't look like a motivated seller. This doesn't look distressed. And that's why. It's only as good as the information, and it's scraping the keywords or the descriptions using keywords. Now, we've created a lot of keywords. We've done a lot of homework on what all of the main motivated seller keywords are. So overall, it works very well. I just wanted to point that out. Now, let's take a look at this property. So this property is for sale right now, and it says great first home or investment property. So that's why it grabbed it. It's saying that right in the keywords. And now let's go ahead and look at what all you can get from this. This is amazing, the information you have. If I ask for more property details, it's going to tell me about the property. And then check this out. This is extremely valuable. Here is the listing agent. Mashonda Bannister is the listing agent, and there's their email and phone number. So we've got that information right here on this listing. So there's more information about the property. We could see mortgage and equity information if there is any. Remember, right here is showing you what are all the filters that this property matches. So not only is it for sale, but it's also absentee owner. Now, we didn't put that filter in there, but it's telling us that this also meets one of the filters of our seller leads that's an absentee owner, and it's free and clear. This is extremely valuable information because what do we know right now? We know that this person does not live in the property, and we know that it's free and clear, so they have no loans on it. They own it 100% equity, and it's for sale. So really valuable information. Let me come back to that, but you'll see these right here. Like this property here is low equity, and it's a pre-foreclosure. So that's additional information that's helpful. Okay, let's go back to that property we were looking at, this one. So I open this property back up. I've got property details, and you scroll down and you can see that, including tax information. I can click on owner. Look, guys, here's our owner. Now, we're not going to contact this owner directly because this is an MLS property. It's listed on market with an agent, which means you have to work through the agent. So don't contact this owner, even though you could, because they have an exclusive agreement with the listing agent, so they have to work with that agent while it's listed. Now, if it expires or whatever, that's fine. You can contact the owner. And then check this out. We have a comp tool right now. So now this shows you all of the comps that you can do. This is really cool. I did a video explaining how this works. I'll put the link in the description below so you can check this out. But real quickly, let's just say that, my property, it's a 3-1, 1,200 square feet. And let's just say that I want to use this property as a comp, and I want to use this property as a comp, and this one. So if I pick those 3 comps, I just randomly pick these, but if I like those and they're relevant, then it readjusts my value based on those comps I used with my square footage of my house. So, again, assuming that those are correct and relevant comps, I would have a value of $90,228 on this property. And then you can download that and it will give you all the information about the comps. That's really cool. You can see on the map where they're at. Again, I did a video, check it out, because you can change these different filters and have advanced filters for how you comp your property. Then you can go to the history here, and this is going to tell you a lot of information. Let's take a look here. This is a transfer of death, so this is an inherited property. And so Leonard Freeman, and then the buyer was Lance Freeman. So I'm assuming here that Leonard was the deceased family member, and this passed on to Lance. So now Lance is probably the owner. On 6/18/2021, there was a transfer of death that happened. And then this tells you all the information about the listing. So this thing's got a lot of listing information. Let's go to the end. This went active on 9/29/2022. And then you can see here, it gives you updates on what happened here. There's the listing agent, but as of the first, 14 days, no change in price. And then let's go all the way to now. Okay, so they haven't changed their price. They've been on market now 154 days, and they're still at $149.9. What is that telling us? It's telling us that this now inherited property is just sitting up there for sale, clearly overpriced because it's been on the market for 154 days and hasn't sold yet. So might there be a good time now to try to reach out to this agent and see if you can work a deal? Probably. So that's under history. This is a really cool feature here as well about the market. So this gives you market demographics, all kinds of information about that zip code in Oklahoma City. I love this information because it gives me real time, what's going on in the market. Okay, let's go back to the property. Here's our property. Let's say that I like this property. I can go ahead and click this add right here. And this is going to add this to my list of properties that I want to go after. Maybe I want to download. So if I close out of this box, that was that property there. I can click it right here as well. You can see it added a 1 in my total list of properties. So for example, let's say that I wanted to also add this property right here. If I checkboxed it, you'll see it adds 2. And so I can go along here and look at these properties, find the ones that I want to go after, like maybe this one right here. You can see here that this looks like a distressed property. It's in pretty rough shape. This might be one that you want to go after. Yeah, look how hammered this house is. So again, you got all this information here. You can click show more. Here's the listing agent, their email, phone number. You could reach out to her and then make an offer on this property. If I like this property, I'll go ahead and add that to my list. And you can see now I've got 3 properties on my list. If I click on this, that shows me those 3 properties. It's going to give me whatever information I want. All I click here is download. It's going to say, do you want all of this different information? You checkbox all the information that you want. It's going to generate for you a CSV file that you can then click to download. Now you've got that information. Now, those searches that we have been doing have been under the advanced MLS keywords, motivated seller keywords. So I could also do investor-owned keywords. I'll show you that in a second, or creative financing keywords. So I could also do that. Now I'm going to do a separate video and really show you how to do creative financing on the MLS through Propwire, which is really cool. But let's take a look at investor-owned keywords right here. Now, what's the difference between investor-owned keywords and motivated seller keywords? Investor-owned keywords are more targeted towards investment properties like rentals. So they're going to be keywords more centered around that type of investment strategy, whereas motivated seller keywords is more along the lines of the sellers trying to sell a distressed property. So let's go ahead and take a look at investor-owned keywords so you can kind of see. Now this found 16 results under investor-owned keywords in the advanced filter. So for example, let's go ahead and look at maybe this property. Okay, you can see here, it says right in the description, investors only, occupied with a tenant. So see what I mean? This is more centered around a buy and hold type of strategy. But now that I'm here, I've got all the same things. I can get the owner information. There's the owner. I can do comps. I can look at the history. I can look at the market. I can do all the same things. But now I'm kind of more looking at investor-owned type properties. And if I like this property and I want to do a search, I can go ahead and click on this right here and it's going to add it to a list. Okay, now there's one last thing I want to show you here. If you look up here in the far corner, you'll see this button here called Save Search. Now what I can do here is I can actually save these searches that I set up. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you name it something that you can recognize it by the filters that you put in. So for example, I could put in here Oklahoma City, MLS, single family residential, since I excluded everything else. And then I can click this notify me when leads are found for this save search. And this is a really awesome feature in Propwire. If I checkbox this, then it will either email me or text me every time a new lead comes available that matches the filters that I set up. So I love this feature because it allows you to then get the data instantly as soon as it comes available. Okay, one final thought before you start using the on-market tool inside Propwire. Because these are listed with real estate agents, I really recommend that you follow my double dip strategy. What that means is it means rather than work with a buyer's agent and then go to these listing agents and have representation to make the offers for you, instead, don't use a buyer's agent, go directly to the listing agents and offer that listing agent to also represent you as the buyer. And that way the agent can then get both sides of the commission. They can work for the seller as the listing agent, and they can also represent you as the buyer, in essence, doubling their commission. This is called dual agency. I call it the double dip strategy. I've actually got scripts that teach you exactly how to do this, what to say, and I'll actually give you these scripts for free. Just go to agentofferscripts.com and you can download those right now. All right, good luck and happy investing using Propwire to get on-market deals.